Transportation began to New South Wales in 1787. Transportation began to Van Diemen's Land in 1803. Transportation ended to New South Wales in 1840 and ended to Van Diemen's Land in 1853, but continued on to Western Australia until 1868. Approximately 160,000 convicts were transported to Australia, and 80% of those were male. Sentences range from life, 14 years, and 7 years being the most common at 51%. Convicts could be transported due to a range of offences, some of which you can see here. But the most common of all were property offences. 83% of females and 81% of males were transported due to property offences. 67,000 were transported to Van Diemen's Land and 81,000 to New South Wales. Because 80% of the convicts transported were male, this meant for every 4 male convicts arriving in Van Diemen's Land, only 1 female did. Approximately the same number of female convicts were transported to Van Diemen's Land as New South Wales. 13,000 juvenile convicts, those under 18 years of age, were transported to Van Diemen's Land alone, and 90% of those were male. For male convicts not on assignment, penal settlements were established. Point Pure was a penal settlement for male juvenile convicts only. For female convicts not on assignment, female factories were established where female juvenile convicts would also be confined. In 1830, the population stood at 70,000. 90% of that population were either convicts, former convicts, or children of convicts. In 1824, of the general population, 77% were male. In 1835, this dropped slightly to 71% being male. What I hope this video demonstrates is that the history of convict transportation isn't only the history of crime and punishment, it's also the history of the formation of Australia, as those convicts forced to migrate there formed its population.